Welcome everyone to a brand new video. Thank you so much for choosing my blog to inform yourself on issues around the world. What we have today is super important, super interesting. So let's begin. Don't forget to share this video. Welcome everyone. Today we are going to talk about the controversy being lived in the United States of North America. The US is experiencing the most crucial moment in the history, in the present history of the last 150 years. Nothing like this has been experienced in the US. People are rioting against the inauguration of the appointed president elect Joe Biden. People are still very unhappy of the so called fraud of the elections from back in November 3rd, 2020. Some of the people in the protest managed to break the protective barrier to the Capitol Hill. These people enter Capitol Hill, where senators, governors, and deputies are. Why this happened? Let me tell you, my friends. Well, on this day, June 6th, the newly elected senators were being certified. In other words, the ceremony was interrupted by the break-in of the citizens protesting against the elections fraud. The citizens of the United States are well divided on this matter of politics. The question now is what is next for this nation that once could be called an example of democracy worldwide. Here are here we are going to enter into some essential details on this topic. Okay, this December 5th, the two candidates from Georgia for the Senate were awarded the U.S. Senate chair. But who are these people? These two politics are part of the Democratic team, my friends. They are candidates. These candidates want the majority for President-elect Joe Biden. So nothing can stop Joe Biden from saying, well, here's a bill, and my friends in the Senate will pass it. No one can block them because they have the majority. Hmm? And these people are Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff. Hmm? Now, let me tell you also, Georgia has become a swing state. This has given Georgia lots of power. Hmm? Well, but let's continue with the subject. The two Democratic candidates for the Senate managed to defeat the two Republican senators who were sitting as Senate. So they got them off their ass. And well, the reality of this event seems to have struck the Republican supporters. It made them, I'm going to say, angry at what had happened. And but I'm not saying that these people are Trump supporters. What I'm saying is that whoever these people are did not like the fact that the Republicans were replaced for Democrats, and that made them furious and decided to break into the Capitol Hill. Last night there was talk of a woman who had lost her life. This morning I heard of three other people losing their lives. So in total, four people lost their lives last night. But they're saying that these other three people lost their lives natural causes because it was like they didn't get shot or anything along those lines. So let's say that they lost their lives in by natural causes. Maybe they got too excited and cardio or something. I'm not entirely sure. They did not go into details, and I couldn't find any other details about it. But let's continue with the topic. If you remember, I spoke close to the end of the year 2020. I made a few videos on this topic, and I predicted for January 7th that we will have lots of riots. So these marches that happened in January 6th, they happen out of nowhere. Hmm? And but the react this was reaction to the win of the two Democrats, the two Senate Democrats. Hmm? Okay, and moving on here, Marco Rubio, he was actually talking, he was giving a speech about during the ceremony for these two Democrats, this news, these two new Senate Democrats, and he was interrupted. But what he was saying is that the certification had been postponed. But I also heard that this morning, or 2 hours after, the ceremony continued and that two senates have been certified. So, but what Marco Rubio was saying is that he doesn't like what's happening in the U.S., that the behavior of the population is more like third world population behavior. So, if from my point of view is that if he's saying that, that means that because in many Latin American countries, this sort of situations does happen when people are getting tired of the corruption of the politicians. So I'm saying that maybe North Americans are getting tired of the corruption from their politics, and if there's any similarity to the behavior of people in other nations, it's because of that. Hmm? Suppose citizens behave in the same way that citizens in Latin America do or act in the past, have acted in the past. In that case, that means that North Americans are tired of political corruption in their nation. Marco Rubio also addressed a message during his message at the Capitol Hill. The statement said that the lawmen and the lawwomen were under attack too, and he was asking Donald Trump to help them by sending resources to assist the police. So this means that police officers will get more money in the future. Donald Trump came out and addressed those protesting against the elections fraud and told them, go home, go relax. You guys have done enough for today, I guess. And that's not word by word, but that's what I'm saying. Paraphrasing. The president asked for order from the citizens. Donald Trump also said that he would not allow someone who did not win the elections to be president of the United States. That the debate in the United States on these elections is still vigorous. That president goes on to say that Joe Biden is trying to steal the elections and he's not going to allow it. What can I tell you is that it's the following days, the coming days are crucial in the U.S. We all expect more protests, violence, and more riots. Nothing will stop. I'm not entirely sure when they could be. We're not entirely sure when this protest will end because it depends how they are handled and how angry people are. Hmm? One other thing I want to bring to our attention is that it is difficult to say if these protesters who broke into the Capitol Hill are actually all supporters of Donald Trump. There might be some infiltrated people from other organizations. So I think it's of bad faith to say that all the people that caused violence on January 6th are Trump supporters. Well, my friend, I always say help someone in your community because you might be the only one who's doing it for now.